Hi, I'm Damien from AtHope, and I always classify myself as an axiological atheist. But in that, I am an atheist, I am an anti-theist, and I'm an anti-religionist. And people seem to have issues with misunderstanding or conflating these words with each other. So we'll start with atheist. Atheism, in its broadest sense, is an absence of belief in the existence of deities. Less broadly, atheism is a rejection of the belief that any deity exists. In a narrower sense, atheism is specifically the position that there are no deities. Atheism is contrasted with theism. Anti-theism is the philosophical position that theism should be opposed. The term has a range of applications. In secular contexts, it typically refers to a direct opposition to the belief in any deity. Unlike anti-religion, anti-theism is not against those religions that do not have deities, such as some sects of Buddhism and Jainism. Anti-religion is opposition to religion or traditional religious beliefs and practices. It is opposition to organized religion, religious practices, or religious institutions. The term anti-religion has also been used to describe the opposition to specific forms of supernatural worship or practice, whether organized or not. Anti-religion is distinct from deity-specific positions such as atheism, which is generally the lack of belief in deities, and also anti-theism, an opposition to the belief in deities. Although anti-religionists may also be atheist or anti-theist. Unlike anti-theism, anti-religionism is also against those religions that do not have deities, such as some sects of Buddhism and Jainism. So now I will read you the interaction I had with a person professing to be an anthropologist of religion teacher, and my feeling that that person was in error or misusing the term anti-theism. I will read their response first. I talk about New Atheism quite extensively in my Anthropology of Religion class. In short, the problem is that new atheists aren't atheists. They're anti-theists. And yes, there is a difference. Anti-theists not only deny the ontological existence of the divine, but they also believe that the very existence of religion is a social evil. Therefore, religion must be eradicated. My response to that: anti-theist is anti-theism, not anti-religion without theism. Anti-religionist is anti-all religions. I am an atheist, anti-theist, and anti-religionist. The fact that these words and their true meanings are not accurately addressed is to state errors. And to be anti-religion is not to be a bigot to people, but to be against the promoting of non-reality as if reality for me and many others. There are bigots that are atheists or theists, and that is not a connection to one being an atheist or theist philosophically. That is no different from one being anti-theist or pro-theist. Their response to me was, Damien AtHope, I honestly am not sure what you're trying to say here. My response: I stated that calling anti-theism as anti-religion is in error. It is anti-gods or theism, the belief in gods or promotion of gods. It is an error to use it otherwise, and it is an error to act as if this philosophy of anti-theism as a position is bigotry. There are bigot ideas found in theists and anti-theists. But this is not the philosophical stance, but the people themselves. There are new atheists who hold bigoted ideas, as Sam Harris does towards Islam at times. But that is his bigotry, not a part of anti-theism. People err in trying to act as if anti-theism is bigotry. It is not. And they did and do sometimes hold and professed some bigotry views in the New Atheist movement. I don't call myself a New Atheist, though I do not think all New Atheists are bigots. Their response to me, Damien Marie AtHope, my argument above was not that anti-theism is bigoted or that bigotry is unique to atheists and the anti-theist movement. And anti-theism is not always about the belief in or promotion of gods. I would say that would be typical of anti-theism in an Abrahamic sense, which is where New Atheism comes from. But because not all religions have gods, anti-theism is much of an Asian and African word is anti-religion, which is an error. It is anti-religion in the sense as stated above. The view that religion is a primitive form of science, i.e., that religion hasn't evolved from superstitious belief and general scientific ignorance. Hence, anti-theism tends to focus broadly on the elimination of religion from society. This can certainly go hand in hand with bigotry, but it doesn't always. My response is, quoting her first statement, anti-theist is not only a denial of ontological existence of the divine, they believe that the very existence of religion is a social evil. And I wrote, your statement is not the definition of anti-theism, but rather your own or another's slanted opinion that adds error to the actual meaning, whether of or because your own possible feelings or driven by the misuse of the term anti-theism by either theists or even self-professed anti-theists who are in error of the term philosophically. New atheists are often antagonistic to philosophy generally or do not adhere closely to the meanings of terms. You say that they are professing atheism but add more than what is defined in the meaning of atheism. And in that we agree. And being or professing anti-religious thinking does not mean you see religion as primitive. I see religion and all supernatural claims as non-reality claims, held as reality. To me, religion and gods are just cultural products and moved in cultural migrations. If they were thought of as interesting stories like Lord of the Rings, then I would not see them as any potential harm. But if people start believing in Lord of the Rings as real and teaching it as real, I would likewise start viewing it as potential harm. Religions often include three things: pseudoscience, pseudo-history, and pseudo-morality, which pose potential harms. Thank you, and have a great day.
Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Damien Marie AtHope. In the simplest terms, I am an atheist humanist philosopher and prehistorical writer-researcher at DamienMarieAtHope.com. I am specifically an axiological atheist. An axiological atheism can be thought to involve ethical and value theory reasoned and moral argument driven apatheism, agnosticism, atheism, anti-theism, anti-religionism, secularism, and humanism. Axiological atheists can be understood as a value theory or a value science atheist. As an axiological atheism's ethically reasoned and constructive pro-humanity. I am an axiological thinker, value theorist. The science of goodness, worthiness, usefulness, valuableness, virtue, reliableness, accuracy, validity, morality, integrity, beneficialness, etc., etc. We axiologists have a value consciousness. And in general, we see the architecture of humanistic humanitarianism value in people that we see as dignity beings. Places and things are not. Axiology is a value theory. In its broadest sense, it involves areas of philosophy that are deemed to encompass some evaluative or evaluation aspect. Therefore, it crosses almost all domains in some way or another. Now for a more detailed terms as to what I am. I am an axiological atheist, an anti-theist, an anti-religionist, secularist, humanist, rationalist, writer, artist, poet, philosopher, advocate, activist, with schooling in psychology, sociology, as well as I am an autodidact, self-taught in science, archaeology, anthropology, and philosophy. I promote science and am against pseudoscience, pseudohistory, pseudomorality, things that are found in religion.